It is definitely not too often in the earlier Pokemon games that we encounter a strong fighting type trainer. In Kanto, for instance, out of all 10 of the gym leaders we face at some point or another, not one of them specializes in the fighting type. The only notable fighting type trainers we face are members of the Fighting Dojo, which lost its gym status before the events of Red and Blue, and of course there is Bruno of the Elite Four. As might be expected of a fighting type trainer, Bruno is known for his crazy training routine, and today's trainer, though not quite as successful, is perhaps even more crazy in this regard. Chuck, the gym leader of the Cianwood City Gym in Johto and the 5th gym leader that we're intended to face on our journey. Chuck is a big dude with a body somewhere between that of a wrestler and, well, a sumo wrestler. You know how most gym leaders have an official title like the Master of Psychic-type Pokemon or the Poisonous Ninja Master? Chuck's is his roaring fists do the talking. I don't really know how that qualifies as a title, but we'll let it be since he is a bit eccentric. I mean, the man trains underneath a waterfall after all. Like Bruno, Chuck's philosophy is to train himself as much as he trains his Pokemon so that the bond between them is as strong as they each are individually. But Chuck has an interesting method for achieving this. He himself actually spars with his Pokemon to make both stronger. Chuck's training habits are so extreme that his wife literally sits outside of the gym desperately waiting for him to come spend at least some time with her. After he's defeated, he vows to train a full 24 hours per day, after which his wife will then say that she's happy he's doing more training since he was getting a little chubby. We later find out through a phone call with Chuck that this is due to him sneaking sweets behind her back after training all day. I don't understand these two, I really don't. Alright, so we know Chuck is a hardcore guy who prides himself on his strength and power. But how strong is he really? It's time to find out Chuck's real capabilities by looking at all of his appearances in the main series games to construct his best possible team. It's time to find out his true power. The first time we encounter Chuck is in the Gen 2 games Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, where he serves as the 5th gym leader that we face. Chuck is found in the rather remote Cianwood City, which is actually on a different landmass than the rest of the Johto region. After trying to intimidate us by saying that his Pokemon can shatter bones and giving us a demonstration by heaving a boulder aside, he challenges us to battle. This gym battle is quite strange as he has one of the lowest numbers of Pokemon out of any gym leader, and especially for such a late game gym leader with just 2, a level 27 Primeape and a level 30 Poliwrath. Notably, neither of these Pokemon are Gen 2 Pokemon either. The next time we encounter Chuck is in the Gold and Silver remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where we can battle him on 2 separate occasions. The first is for our 5th gym badge, just like in the originals, except this time his Primeape is 2 levels higher at level 29, and his Poliwrath is at level 31. Aside from both Pokemon now having access to their abilities, his Primeape also now has Rock Slide and Double Team, and his Poliwrath now has Body Slam and holds a Citrus Berry to add more of a challenge. However, Heart Gold and Soul Silver also give us the amazing opportunity to rematch Chuck later in the game once the player has acquired all 16 badges from Kanto and Johto, in which Chuck now has a full team of 6, which is much stronger. Since Chuck now trains 24 hours a day and is never outside of his gym, the player actually has to go to his wife to get his Pokegear phone number, after which he can be called on Wednesday nights to organize a rematch at the Fighting Dojo in Saffron City. Before the rematch, Chuck says, "There you are, taste my 24-hour training," and it really seems to have paid off. In this battle, he now starts off with a brand new level 54 Metacham, followed by a new Hitmonchan at level 52, a new level 55 Hitmonlee, a new level 54 Breloom, his Primeape now at level 56, and his Poliwrath now at a whopping level 60. Not only does he have several new additions to his team, but they're all much more powerful with really great setups too, such as his Breloom holding a Toxic Orb to take advantage of its Poison Heal ability, along with the Substitute and Focus Punch combination, Stone Edge, and Drain Punch for even more recovery. The final time we can battle Chuck thus far is in Gen 5's sequel games Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, in which he participates in the Pokemon World Tournament. Chuck can be found in 3 different tournament styles where he rotates between 2 different teams of 6. As with all trainers in the tournament, Chuck has great competitively viable movesets and items on his Pokemon, but keep in mind they are all automatically scaled down to level 50 as per tournament rules, although it still gives us an awesome idea of new additions to his collection. In the Johto Leaders Tournament, Chuck has his Poliwrath, a brand new Machamp, his Primeape, a brand new Hitmontop, his Hitmonchan, and finally his Hitmonlee. With these 2 new additions, we finally get to see Chuck's one and only Generation 2 Pokemon, his Hitmontop. In the Type Expert and World Leaders Tournament teams, Chuck rotates between his Poliwrath, Machamp, a brand new Conkeldurr, his Hitmontop, Hitmonchan, and Hitmonlee. It's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Using all of his appearances in the main series Pokemon games, let's construct Chuck's best possible team. The first pick for Chuck's best team is going to go to his Conkeldurr from his Black 2 and White 2 Type Expert and World Leaders World Tournament teams, which is his only Pokemon from a generation later than Gen 3. In the Gen 8 full Pokedex metagame, Conkeldurr is currently in the OU tier, which is the highest tier after Ubers. Conkeldurr is an absolute monster in battle, and I would argue was underrated for both Gen 6 and 7 since it was below the OU tier in both. Conkeldurr's base stats are quite crazy with really wicked HP, attack, and defense, although its special defense and speed are definitely mediocre. Conkeldurr has 3 amazing abilities, and we've seen Chuck either have it with Guts to give it 1.5 times damage if it has a status condition, or Sheer Force to increase the power of its moves with secondary effects by 1.3 times while removing that secondary effect. Since we've seen him use the Toxic Orb, I have no doubt that Chuck could run a Flame Orb Guts Conkeldurr set with the moves that we've seen on it like Stab Drain Punch for recovery and Stab Priority Mach Punch to make up for its poor speed, and also the possibility of Facade, which doubles power with a status condition, and Knockoff to help with super effective psychic types. The second pick for Chuck's best team is going to go to his Breloom from his Heart Gold and Soul Silver Fighting Dojo rematch team, in which it's at level 54. Breloom is currently in the UUBL tier, meaning it's banned from the UU tier but doesn't quite make the overused or OU tier by usage. Although Breloom's only notable stat is its insane 130 base attack, it has a unique function both in being able to hit really hard and function as a great utility Pokemon simultaneously. As mentioned earlier, Chuck already has a great setup on this thing with the Poison Heal ability combined with Toxic Orb, along with Substitute, Stab Focus Punch, and Stab Drain Punch for recovery, along with Stone Edge for coverage, but he could potentially run moves like Spore to put the opponent to sleep, Leech Seed for even more recovery and to force switches, Stab Mach Punch for priority, and Seed Bomb for some powerful Grass Stab. The third pick is going to go to Chuck's Machamp from his Black 2 and White 2 World Tournament teams, in which it's automatically set to level 50. But of the Pokemon that we know the level of that later went to his World Tournament teams, the very lowest is level 52, so we can safely assume this thing is at least level 52 as well. Machamp is currently in the UU tier and has some great bulk with 80 to 90 in all 3 defenses, insane attack, and its only mediocre stat that's actually being used is its speed. The key here is Machamp's No Guard ability, which makes it unable to miss, combined with Stab Dynamic Punch move through level up, which has 100 base power and guarantees confusion. Couple this with coverage moves that Chuck has had on it like Earthquake, Rock Slide or Stone Edge, Dual Chop, Ice Punch, and the potential for Priority Bullet Punch, and this is a very threatening Pokemon that adds great coverage and bulk to Chuck's team. The next spot is going to go to his Hitmonlee from his Fighting Dojo rematch team, in which it's at level 55. Being in the upper RU tier, Hitmonlee is largely considered to be the best of the 3 Hitmons and has amazing attack and special defense and a good speed stat too. Chuck's Hitmonlee has the Reckless ability, which increases the power of moves with recoil or crash damage by 20%, which pairs perfectly with Stab High Jump Kick, which already has an insane 130 base power. With other moves that Chuck has had on it like Bulk Up to raise its attack and defense even further, Priority Sucker Punch to take care of Psychic and Ghost types, Priority Fake Out, Stone Edge, Blaze Kick, and Bulldoze or possibly Earthquake via TM, Hitmonlee provides a good amount of speed, coverage, and insane power to this team. The second last spot on Chuck's best team is going to go to his Medicham, also from his Heart Gold and Soul Silver Fighting Dojo rematch team, in which it's at level 54. Medicham is currently in the NU tier in competitive battling, and on the face of it, its base stats don't look that impressive at all. However, its ability called Pure Power actually doubles its attack power, making it fulfill quite a similar role to Hitmonlee, but with added coverage. With moves that Chuck has on it like Stab Psycho Cut, Stab High Jump Kick, and Thunder Punch, along with the potential for Stab Zen Headbutt and Priority Fake Out or Bullet Punch, Medicham is a solid addition to this team to add a way to counter opposing fighting types, which would otherwise wall this team quite badly. And the final pick for Chuck's best team is going to be his signature Poliwrath from his Heart Gold and Soul Silver rematch team, in which it's at level 60, making it his highest known level Pokemon. Although Poliwrath is untiered, it's definitely usable with solid all-around stats, good typing in terms of coverage, and the ability to run especially offensive moveset, which is much needed on this highly physical team. Although Chuck does seem to run a physical variant in Gen 4, he could quite easily make it a special variant with move options like Stab Scald with a chance to burn, Stab Focus Blast, Stab Priority Vacuum Wave, Toxic to poison the opponent, Protect to Toxic Stall them, and even Ice Beam for great coverage. Poliwrath is a much needed special presence on this team and can be highly unpredictable in battle. Despite this being his absolute best team, Chuck does have a few other viable team members that could be switched in depending on who he's battling. The The first is his level 50 plus Hitmonchan, which does have the great rapid spin capability but is slightly outclassed by Poliwrath due to its water type coverage and specially offensive capabilities. Next is his level 56 Primeape, which is definitely one of his higher level Pokemon but isn't that great competitively. Finally, his level 52 Hitmonchan is another Pokemon in the PU tier that is outclassed by his other mono fighting types such as Hitmonlee and Machamp. Well, there we go everyone, we have discovered Chuck's true power and unveiled his strongest possible team in the main series games. If you enjoyed this video and are looking forward to more from this series, please be sure to leave a like, share it on social media, and subscribe with notifications on by hitting that bell icon if you haven't already. All forms of support help a ton and are super appreciated. Don't forget to comment down below with what trainer you wish to see featured next. The comment with the most likes will pick the trainer for the next week's episode and will be featured on screen. Before we go, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you enjoy my content and would like to support the channel and get some really cool perks, the link to my Patreon page will be in the description below. This has been SilphSpectre, and I'll see you guys next time for some more True Power.